I was not what you would label as a college-bound youth. My friends and I never considered college. We were busy doing drugs and struggling to be queer in our working-class town. Few of us completed more than a year of high school, myself included. We did not see people like us seeking an education. We did not see people like us, period. We were unable to muffle the chatter of the dominant culture and find a voice that spoke directly to us. A voice that could have told us that our experiences were valuable, that we were valuable. But that voice was not present. We did not feel welcome in most places, including school. As the years passed and I left that town, I began to admit to myself that I did want to go to college. However, it appeared impossible. I was too far behind, and I did not understand how people could afford it. I decided it was a path for others to follow, not me. I did attend trade school for automotive mechanics and truck driving. I came to LA to work as a film car mechanic and found myself working on sets in downtown. Day after day, I watched folks set up their tent homes in the shadows of the tall buildings. Skid Row was nothing like I'd ever seen before. I did not want to accept this poverty as part of the landscape. I wanted to study the causes and understand why we as a society accepted it. My heart was not in the work I was currently doing. However, my fear of school was still too great. I bought audiobooks on issues of social justice and played them in the cab of the semi as I drove across the state to new film locations. I hoped that becoming more informed, that I would not have to face my fear of going to school. This plan did not work. I continued to encounter injustice, and I finally decided that I had to try. So a friend sent me a link to this place called Antioch. I had never heard of it. But to my dismay, they let me in. I flew into my first class with my fists up, ready for anyone to call me out as a fraud, to say that I was not smart enough to be there. But that never happened. What I got instead were classmates who listened when I spoke, professors who asked me to think critically and then share those thoughts. I was encouraged to write, find my voice, and work harder than I had ever worked before. It was a powerful moment the first time someone asked me what I thought about a social justice issue. It had been a long time since anyone had asked me what I thought about anything, besides, of course, my awesome mom, who's out there in the audience. That's her clapping, I'm sure. The support I received while in school is the reason I am standing here. I did not always feel as though I deserved an education, but my professors believed otherwise and had no problem telling me so. Over the course of the 3 years, my education became my own. I am now both confident when I speak and humbled by the wisdom of others. I no longer feel unwelcome in a classroom. If anything, it's difficult to get me to stop talking. 2 days after my final class at Antioch, I drove away from Los Angeles, headed back home to the Pacific Northwest to apply to graduate school for social work. I knew in those first few hours of driving, just as the sun came up, that I was a fundamentally changed person. Unfortunately, the reality for many folks is that school will never be a possibility. As a graduate, I feel I hold a responsibility to help make education more accessible, whether through policy, activism, or personal support. Knowledge should not be set aside for a privileged few. Don't take this gift for granted. Fight hard so that others may have a day like this, a day to celebrate hard work, a day to graduate from college. Thanks.